The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
Welcome back. I'm really excited about our next guest. Many of you know Mila Kunis from That 70s Show and the voice of Meg on The Family Guy. She starred in the films Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Black Swan, and now she's diving into the crypto rabbit hole, launching her own brand of NFTs called Stoner Cats with her business partner, Sound Ventures partner, Maaria Bajwa. Earlier, I had a chance to speak to both of them, and I asked how Mila got interested in the crypto space to begin with. Have a listen.
Okay, it's a little bit of a long story, so I'll do it really. I'll give you like the elevator version. Ashton was into cryptocurrency 9 years ago, and it was. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you exactly what it was. We were having like dinner with Gary Vee at the time, and they were talking about crypto, and I was like, this is dumb. This is a bad idea. No, I don't understand this. You can't trust people. You guys shouldn't invest in this. Needless to say, neither one of them listened to me. And, everybody had a happy ending. But that's when it all began, was about 9 years ago. And I was like, no. And then as the years went on, I was like, I think I'm on the wrong side of history on this one. And in the past year, I would say that I embraced it wholeheartedly, but I was, it took me a minute. Like it is very similar to, it's a little scary in the sense that you're like, I think Gary equated it really well to the tech bubble in the 90s where people were like, this is just a fad, this is a trend, this isn't going to stick, this is just something. I think that I had the same feeling when it came to crypto. I think I was wrong.
It's interesting you mentioned Gary Vee because he is really into NFTs, and so that makes sense. You're launching over 10,000 NFTs. Anyone who buys one will have access to an animated short that you created, and the project is called Stoner Cats. And I've heard your husband explain how Stoner Cats came about, but I'd love to hear how you tell it. How did you come up with this idea, and how did you think to link it to NFTs?
Okay, so this project is a little bit me and a little bit Maaria. And it's like, if we had a baby, it would be like this. So I don't come from the world of tech. I don't come from the world of crypto. I don't pretend like I do, right? Like I'm a consumer, but I can parrot information, but it doesn't mean that I fully 100% even understand it myself. So Stoner Cats was a concept of a show that we wanted to put out on, streaming or television broadcast and otherwise. And we were doing this during quarantine during COVID, and it became a really oversaturated market, the market of animation. And I was like, how do we stand out? How do we do something different? And how do we not have to comply with, rules and regulations when it comes to our show? We wanted to be very loud and very specific and very honest and true to its nature. And Maaria works with Ashton, and they kept talking about these things called NFTs. And I know I sound like a crazy person, but I was like, what is an NFT? So this is 2 years ago. I was like, what's an NFT? And so then I got a beautiful explanation as to what NFTs were, and I was like, wow, this doesn't make any sense. So cut to COVID happens, Stoner Cats, and I was like, I wonder if I can make this into an NFT. So Maaria lovingly was like, let me help you out, and helped take this little train and truck it along in the world of tech and crypto and all the things that I knew nothing about. Really
most people in quarantine learned how to make bread, and you're making an animated short in NFTs. That's awesome. Maaria, I'd love to get your...
I can also bake a challah like no one's business.
Very impressive. Maaria, I would love to hear your role in the project. So a Stoner Cat costs about $850 worth of ETH, and they kind of look like CryptoKitties, the first ever NFT, coincidence or not.
Yeah, so we're actually working with Matt Flavell and Big Head Studios. He was sort of the creative genius behind both the CryptoKitties and NBA Top Shot. But the Stoner Cats themselves, it's our creator, our animator, Ash, who came from he's behind Toy Story 2, and we have this amazing creative team. They're the ones who actually created all of the content behind the show. And so the cost, it's launching on Monday. The cost is gonna be 0.35 ETH. And so obviously the price of ETH fluctuates, but right now I think it's around 700, call it dollars. 0.35 ETH plus the price of gas. And if you purchase one of these NFTs, it gets you access to watch the content that we're creating. And each episode, the first episode I think is about 5 to 6 minutes long. We have an entire season written out of content that's going to be, call it about 45 minutes long total. And we're very, very excited about it.
Yeah, the
Aria is a badass. I just want
really...
to say to everybody, this woman is so smart. It's crazy. There's like a handful of women in this world of crypto, let alone in the world of NFTs. Maaria should run the whole thing.
Behind every power couple, there's.
Wow. Yeah, sure. I'll
Behind
take her
every powerful figure, there's a woman.
I'll coach her.
Maaria, the tokenomics are really novel. If you own a token, and am I getting this right? You get access to a stoner cat content, and if you sell your token, the new owner can't watch past content but can watch new content.
No, so if you hold a token, you can watch any of the content that we release. Yeah. So in that moment of time, if you own it, you can watch past episodes, you can watch all of the future episodes, whatever it is. So that token is really, like, the way that I kind of think about it is like, it's like your login or your username, or your access to a streaming network.
Okay. Understood.
And also a little bit of like ownership in the content. Like you have like a little bit of.
Yeah. So you're upending the whole system in terms of Netflix, being the centralized mediator between content creators and viewers. You guys are eliminating the middleman in this new model.
Yes, so to speak. I do want to say both things can exist in the same world, but in the world that we're creating, yes, there is no studio. So it goes directly to the artists. So it is all very transparent. Yeah.
Okay. I want to bring this up because
decentralized.
You said, speaking of which, there is a viral clip of you and Ashton. Let's play it a bit.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's blockchain?
It's like what information stored on. So like, it's, what information is stored on.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's decentralization?
Oh, there's not one person in charge of anything. So it's everybody keeps everybody else in check. So there's not one big like unit or entity to uphold everybody to the same code. It's the people holding each other responsible.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
What's Ethereum?
So Ethereum is a general purpose blockchain.
All right. First, great explanation of decentralization. Second, what is Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, doing in your kitchen?
Okay. We may or may not be friends. This is the weirder part about the world that we all live in, okay? And when this whole idea was conceptualized, when I was like, I can do NFTs, how hard can it be? He happened to be having a meeting with Maaria and Ashton, and nothing to do with me. This was like their own little world of things. I got wind that he liked cats. And so I was like, I'm going to become friends with this guy. He seems fun and different. And
he speaks Russian.
We became friends. Yes, Russian, and also like 7 other languages. Like he's incredibly brilliant. So we're in the same city at the same time. And everyone thinks it's funny because this all started with me going, can't we waive gas fees? Can't we just waive them? I don't understand why can't we waive gas fees? And so the juxtaposition of Vitalik and myself when we're trying to talk about the same things made people laugh. So when he came over for lunch to hang out with us, Ashton thought it'd be really funny to make a video of like how I explain things and then how Vitalik explained things because it makes Maaria and everybody giggle. And then he was like, I'm going to post this. And we're like, oh, okay.
Is he involved in the project at all?
Maybe. Maaria.
Maybe.
Maybe.
TBD. Yeah, we'll be announcing more stuff throughout the weekend.
But not on the technical side. I want to be super clear. Not at all, nothing to do with technical whatsoever. Just more in like a funny way.
All right.
Yeah.
But Stoner Cats has a manifesto, which blows my mind, and a bit of it I'll read. We believe that by using NFTs to reverse finance content, we can innovate and expand upon the old NFT model, maybe a strangely touching story about cats who get high and the women they love coming to terms with her memory loss and her mortality can be our unlikely hero in the story of decentralizing entertainment. And this manifesto, it's quite deep. So what's your deeper philosophy of how NFTs work in the media world?
So, I mean, I think it can go, well, go ahead, Maaria, Kate.
Well, so what I was going to say is I think for us, it's about connecting fans directly with the creators, and then also about enabling the creators to control the content that they make, right? And being able to see that from the content from ideation to production, being able to tell the story that they want to tell without having, a million people involved in that process and changing what the story looks like over time. And so I think a lot of it is just direct fan to, storyteller to audience communication and distribution. And then also the ability for fans to participate in what that content looks like and being able to fund the content that they want to see.
Yeah, I think we were initially talking about how studios sometimes force feed you content. Like there is a world where your options are oddly limited, where they try to predict what it is that you're going to like, and so you kind of get like these 7 options, and that is what you get. And so we're trying to, I guess, find a model where we're going to allow, by people being able to purchase the NFTs, to dictate what they want to watch. So the NFTs that you buy is the content that we would create. Ultimately, it's like what came first, the chicken or the eggs. And so we're trying to kind of see what this version looks like. If people purchase the NFTs, or rather when people purchase the NFTs, then that'll only make the show more successful. The more successful the show, the more successful your NFTs. So it goes hand in hand. So you do ultimately, as a viewer, have ownership within the content and say within the content.
Interesting. And I want to be respectful of your time, so I know we've got to wrap, but I'll just mention that there's an all-star cast involved. Includes Mila, Ashton, Jane Fonda has just been announced, and more. We're looking forward to seeing that. And before we wrap, I just want to ask this question. Ashton sold his ticket to Virgin Galactic because you didn't want him flying to space. I wonder now, with Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson successfully going to space and landing, are you going to let Ashton go to space?
No. No, I should say, listen, I think it's really, I know there's a lot of backlash, oddly, for Bezos and for Musk going to space. I think that people are maybe interpreting it the wrong way. I do believe that all this was financed when we weren't necessarily financing NASA and exploration of space. And I do think it's really important to make this seem fun and exciting for young people to get excited about space and exploration of space and want to learn more and see more. And so I think that there's a version of this that I think people need to pump the brakes on. Yes, I think it's ridiculous, don't get me wrong, but I also think it's really important to shine light on the fact that it is important to have space travel, and it is important to keep exploring and seeing what's beyond our limits. Do I think that my husband needs to go into space? No, I don't. That's just my opinion, Maaria. Yeah. What would you? Maaria's like, I'd go to space. I'm asking the wrong person. Maaria's like,
tell him to give his ticket to me.
Yeah, exactly. This is the wrong person to talk to. Maaria's like, I'm in.